Steph Curry changed the game of basketball, but is he the greatest point guard of all time? Let's break down the case. Now, to decide if Steph's the GOAT, let's clarify what greatest point guard actually means. Does it mean being the best at traditional passing and leadership? Or is it about who has the most impact on the game? There's other legendary point guards that might try to take title to that claim. Magic Johnson, John Stockton, and Chris Paul, just to name a few. Now, Steph Curry has over 23,000 points, multiple MVPs, and 4 NBA championships. His numbers show that he is a dominant scorer and efficient playmaker. Now, what makes Curry's game different is his influence. He has absolutely redefined the three-point game, shifting the NBA strategy completely. Just kind of a comparison would be the fact that in the early 1990s, the average team shot approximately 9.9 three-pointers a game. Compare that to today's game, where the average team is shooting about 35 three-pointers a game. You want something else that's a crazy stat? I remember growing up and thinking that Larry Bird was the greatest three-point shooter of all time. He has 1,776 career three-point attempts in his 13-year career. Steph Curry has that many attempts in just over 2 seasons. The game is completely shifted, and Steph Curry is a big reason for that. Now, some people would argue that a true point guard's role is to facilitate and set up teammates. So, with that definition, is Curry a traditional point guard? You think about some other players like Magic Johnson, who was a traditional floor general. Now, could Curry's style redefine what a point guard can be? Now, let's be fair, not everyone thinks that Curry is the greatest point guard. Some critics would argue that he just doesn't have the passing numbers or the defense of other players. People like Chris Paul or Gary Payton. Now, true that Curry's defensive skills may not be elite, but his offensive impact often outweighs those weaknesses. When you look at impact on championships and team success, Curry's impact on team success is undeniable. The Warriors won 4 titles with him, and he is the face of a dynasty. Much like Magic Johnson helped create the Showtime Lakers, Steph Curry is very much responsible for the Warriors dynasty. Now, Steph Curry is more than a point guard. He is a revolutionary player. But is he the greatest? Like I said, that is a very interesting question. And it just really depends on what you define as the greatest. I did have the luxury of watching some of those great players like Magic Johnson and John Stockton, and I've also had the opportunity to watch Steph Curry play. And I think Steph Curry's impact on the game and what he's been able to do could absolutely qualify him to be the greatest ever. Now, will I say that he is the greatest ever? I still have a hard time saying that over somebody like Magic Johnson as well, whose impact was also just quite amazing. But if you really, really wanted to say, hey, which of the 2 players would you take to start your team around? Could you really say one over the other? It's a hard question. Now, I guess, what do you guys think? Has Steph Curry redefined the position enough to be considered the GOAT point guard? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more basketball breakdowns. As always, keep shooting, everybody.